A gorgeous evening at Olympic Park. The crowd still coming in. Pretty chilly conditions, I can tell you. And the stage is now set. Pretty strong Kiwi contingent supporting both teams here this evening, as the Auckland Warriors prepare to take on the Storm. They've beaten them once already this year by 16 points to 12 at Ericsson Stadium. And they now leave the dressing room and make their way out, down the tunnel and out onto Olympic Park. Some pretty young fans as well for both of these clubs. The Melbourne Storm really have captured the imagination of the Melbourne public. I'm not quite sure, Steve Roach, whether they're doing that to support their team or just to keep warm. It's a pretty chilly night.
Yeah, 6 degrees to be exact. Freezing down here. Here comes the Auckland side now.
Led out by Quinton Pongia. Big Joe Vangana as well. What a role he should play this evening. He was inspirational when the Auckland Warriors beat the Melbourne Storm back in round 5. At the back tonight, Joe Nullival, Paul Stellardi and Odenreiner on the wings. Endicott and Vangana are in the centres. Namu and Stacey Jones the halves. Vangana, Eru and Pongia up front. And it's Logan Swan, Owen Guttenbeil and Teodopati make up the back row for the Auckland Warriors. Stacey Jones, this year he's played all 15 games. And look at that, 20 line breaks. Along with his 6 tries, he's certainly one of the Warriors to watch this evening.
Yeah, and he picks his time to run too. He's a very quick player from the back of the scrum, also in broken field, so just watch for him to bob up.
Just preparing now for the Melbourne Storm's first appearance this week. It's been a terribly difficult week for them, led out tonight by Glenn Lazarus, who really has been a calming influence in a week that really has been a bit of a storm for them. Robbie Ross is at the back, Smith and Byer on the wings, Martin and Mule are the centres, Hill and Kamali the halves, Lazarus Kearns and Paul Marquette up front, and Ben Rorty, Richard Swain and Tawara Nikau make up the Melbourne Storm back row. They're coached by Chris Anderson. One man who's been extremely popular with the Melbourne public is this man, the Papua New Guinean international Marcus Bai, and have a look at that, 293 hit-ups, leads the competition, and along with that he scored 7 tries.
He's their best forward, isn't he? You just watch when the Auckland Warriors kick deep into their own half, the Melbourne Storm have to run the ball off their own line. It's Marcus Bai that they look for.
He's certainly a man who's not afraid of hard work, as Mokshin Jadwat is our referee for the evening's contest. Brett Kamali, the man there with the football, well, for my money has been one of the Melbourne Storm's best players this year. And it's a pretty chilly condition. He's certainly singing the wrong anthem.
He's singing our song.
So almost ready for a start here. We expect a very physical encounter up front. We would expect nothing less from both of these two teams. Both with big forward packs. And it'll be Kamali to get us underway. Auckland playing from left to right in the red shorts. And it comes first to Logan Swan, who's put down on the 30-metre line. Pongia with his first touch, running straight at Richard Swain. This is Teodopati, who played pretty well off the back of the scrum last week.
Yeah, he's been a fine, normally a centre, Rapati. Here's a good scoot from dummy half from Itaru.
It's been good to see Sideru back in the Auckland colours as well, as making a run this stage is Anthony Swan into the centres this evening to replace Shane Endicott. Stacey Jones on for Namu, who go to the air on the last. Marcus Bye's in good position, and already you might be able to hear the crowd getting right behind him. Look to offload, does so. Gets it away for Kamali.
Well, that's what I like about him. It doesn't matter where he is or what position or part of the field that he's in. He just passes the football if it's on. There's another run from Marcus Bye from dummy half. Great start from him.
Make that 295 hit-ups for the Papua New Guinean international. Tawata Nikau onto the 30-metre line. Lazarus with his first touch of the football runs straight at Swan. They swing it to the left-hand side for Kearns. Listed in the front row this evening, but will be playing, we understand, somewhere at hooker. This is Joe Nullavow, who had such a fine performance last week for the Warriors and their very good win over the St George Dragons. Out of dummy half comes Paul Stellardi. As we take a look at the strike power of these two teams, Melbourne 63 tries, Auckland 40. But Auckland have conceded 52, and that must be a worry for them.
Well, they've never had any problem scoring tries, this Auckland Warriors side. It's stopping them. That's their biggest problem. But a great start from both sides. Very enthusiastic. Here's Vangana.
Big Joe Vangana taken low by Richard Swain. Last tackle now for the Warriors. They go to the blind side, but Robbie Ross in good position to return it. And it's Teo Opati who takes him low on the 20-metre line. This is Tony Martin, just 19 years of age and stepping out of a couple of tackles. It really has been a revelation for the Storm in his 9 games so far this year. Swain, and the first penalty of the match will go to the Storm.
Yeah, well, they're lucky to get away for holding down just earlier in that set of 6 tackles. And that's obviously the Auckland Warriors' tactics, just try and slow this Storm team down. It didn't work that time. And there's the first penalty of the game for holding down. He'll go for touch.
You can see here, Logan Swan it is lying all over Robbie Kearns. And Mr. Jadwat with absolutely no hesitation. Lazarus to play it on the 40. Kearns, another one of the incredibly popular players here for the Melbourne Storm. They bring it back to the blind side for Nikau. Looking for runners, picks up one. Inside the 20. Nikau blowing up. Kamali on for Hill. Martin's there. Does he get around his man? No. They bring it back to the open side for Nikau. He'll be looking for a big game this evening. Last tackle and just 5 metres out for Melbourne. They swing it to the left-hand side for Kamali. The little kick ahead. It's been juggled and Mule is there. But the Auckland Warriors tidy up and will have a goal line dropout.
Well, the Auckland Warriors lucky not to be caught offside there. The fullback has touched the football and dived on by an Auckland Warriors player. And it goes to, you would expect, for the Storm too, Kamali. That man's offside there, the fullback. Come off Odenrine. And lucky not to get a penalty against him, but the Melbourne Storm will get the football.
4 minutes gone. Justin Morgan, a furious pace so far in the game.
Certainly has been Melbourne. That's the first time they've been in Auckland's half, and Kamali very threatening with the ball in his hands.
You can say the same all year, Steve. He's been one of their best.
Yeah, I like the kid on the other side too. Stacey Jones, as we said, with plenty of ability and try-scoring opportunities. Here's Kearns with a strong run up over the 30.
Good front-on tackle from Vagana as well. Standing his ground at the play the ball. Lazarus with another touch up over the 20. Comes the Melbourne captain. Still no score. 4.5 minutes gone here at Olympic Park. Swain on for Kamali. Hill is there. Looks for the inside runner in Martin. Martin shows the ball and he's met front on by Quinton Pongia. Swain for Kamali. Nikau has runners. Shows the short ball and they'll go across the Melbourne Storm. Ben Rorty, forward pass.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want to see that again. That was great running there by Rorty. Nikau takes it to the line. There's no way that passes forward. That's a great try to the Melbourne Storm, pulled up by Jabwat, the referee. Let's have a look at it again. See how Nikau's body turns. There's no way that's forward.
That's a great pass, and that really should have been a very good try to Ben Rorty. And so a let-off for the Auckland Warriors after 5.5 minutes of the match. They'll have the opportunity to get some ground out of their own half.
Well, a little touch high, that tackle there from Kearns over the top. was Lazarus, actually. They'll give a little bit of what they've copped early in this match. It's been very physical.
Got to remember too, though, without two of their most physical forwards in Rodney Howe, obviously for reasons which have been well documented, and Danny Williams, who received a suspension this week at the judiciary. So those are two players who I'm sure Chris Anderson would dearly love to have out there on the park as Pongia makes some ground up the middle of the park. Last tackle for the Warriors. It comes now for Namu to kick over Marcus Bai's head. A good kick it is too. The bounce comes back and it's brilliantly taken by Bai.
Well, I don't think they've watched the tapes that much. This bloke is the best kick reception runner in the game. Might be kicking to the other wing. Be trying to put some pressure on the other bloke. There's a turnover now, Robbie Ross.
A costly mistake from the Melbourne fullback. Untidy play the ball, play on. Stacey Jones holds the ball up, tries to get through the tackle of Kamali and also Marquette. Inside the Melbourne 20-metre line, still no score. Swan, this is Ropati. Can't get on the outside of Swain. He'll play at centre field, 15 metres out. The inside ball to Vangana. Goes over one, gets the offload back. Namu on for Jones. Swan is there, looking to give it to someone. 5 metres out now, the Warriors. Jones, Nullavow puts it down. So opportunities at both ends.
You know, that's been one of the big pluses for their game so far, the way that they've controlled the football. They got a little bit of stage fright there, just trying to force the ball. And now the Melbourne Storm are coming out of their own end. Just on the 30 now through Marcus Bai. There's another penalty for holding down.
Slowing down the play, the ball is one thing, but
come here, number 8.
As Mr. Jadwat calls over Quinton Pongia and also Joe Vagana.
Hands off straight away when he's held.
And Justin, it looks to me like a little bit of white line fever there for the for the Auckland Warriors. They're only 20 metres out. Just a couple of forced passes.
Exactly, that's their first opportunity to get some points on the board, and they just panicked a little bit.
A terrible mistake, and it goes for Jones. On for Stellardi, who has some pace, I can tell you. 35 metres out, the Warriors will play it. They work the blind for Edu. It's juggled by Swan, and he's put down on the 30-metre line. Edu is there. Here's Vangana. Runs straight at Scott Hill, manages to get the ball in behind for Stacey Jones, and he's pushed backwards by Scott Hill. He didn't appreciate being run straight at by Big Joe Vangana.
Not a bad place to aim.
No one back behind the play the ball. Out to the left-hand side. Owen Guttenbiel it is, who came into the second row to replace Stephen Kearney. He'll be a big loss for the Auckland Warriors tonight. Pongia works the blind side. Quinton Pongia breaks a couple of tackles. Last tackle now for Auckland, 15 metres out. Stacey Jones will go to the air. Stellardi's out wide. The ball comes back these very, very short in-goal areas. And it defeats everyone.
Well, that was one of the best things about the Melbourne chase there, is that they actually competed for the football. If you have a look at the in-goal area here at the Olympic Park, it would be the bare minimum. Not much room for error.
Not much room to manoeuvre. Kearns it'll be to play it. 35 out from his own line. They work the blind side. This is Rorty, who maybe should have scored a try about 5 minutes ago. Straight through goes Paul Marquette. Picked up on the halfway line. It'll come for Kamali to kick early in the tackle count. Back there is Odenrine. Takes it nicely, 10 metres out from his own line. Martin is there in defence, as is his centre partner Mule.
And he's been one of their best too, Lee Odenrine. Week in and week out performer for the Auckland Warriors. And just good tactics too to kick early in the tackle count. They don't like to be turned around, the Auckland side.
Back to the blind side they come. This is Guttenbiel. Opati took it flat, takes it up towards the halfway line. Nikau's been in everything so far this evening. Looking to be prominent in defence as the Warriors kick early in the tackle count this time. Comes down for Ross, who takes the ball inside his own 10-metre line. And Stellardi's there in defence along with Anthony Swan.
Yeah, they look like they've got a load of confidence from that win against St George last week. The Auckland Warriors, has been a great start for them.
As you can see, they've pretty much had most of the ball inside this first 10 minutes. Tony Martin hits straight front on by Vangana.
I like this kid. He's from the London Broncos, a signing. Here's Kearns now.
Auckland being forced to make the greater number of tackles, which is interesting, bearing in mind that they've had more of the ball. Up towards the halfway line they come. Again a kick early in the count. Back in behind Stellati with some space. He looks for Nullavour and support and will take the tackle. 22 out from his own line.
Yeah, great trace from Paul Marquette too. He goes unnoticed, a former Newcastle player, always up there first from the kick chase. He's been a solid performer for the Melbourne Storm this season. He can hit too, I can tell you.
Nullavour again looking for work up from the back. Melbourne with 6 missed tackles so far in the match. Gene Namu keeps it going with another early kick.
They're keeping Robbie Ross honest at least. Anyway, it's a good chase from Stacey Jones who makes the tackle.
In partnership with Nigel Vangana. 15 metres out, he'll play it for Martin. Byers there to accept the pass. Taken low by Eru. This is Marquette.
That's for a high tackle. I'm sure he'll be called out now. That's a high tackle on Marquette from Logan Swan.
Go to the blood bin, please.
He's going to the blood bin too.
Bleeding there, 4.
Bleeding from an eye cut. That's one he sustained last week. He's already bleeding there. Just the arm just going up a little bit high. Marquette sustained that cut last week against the Cowboys. Here's Lazarus.
Well, he's been replaced by not a bad man to bring on. Russell Bowden's come on. And he's a player who this year has been one of the Storm's best from the interchange bench. He scored 8 tries.
Yeah, Justin, just a little bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. Both sides controlling the football well.
Exactly. It's been very physical in the forwards, which is something I've been looking forward to, and also very tactical. Both sides trying to gain field position by kicking very early in the tackle count.
To the blind side they come for Vangana to break the first line of defence and take a couple of defenders with him. 40 metres out from the Melbourne line, and a penalty comes to Auckland. Kamali. Well, I tell you what, if you're going to take someone on, you might as well take on the biggest bloke in the opposition.
Yeah, never bite off more than you can chew, but Kamali just like a little fox terrier hanging on there.
For the push and shove, let me control it.
Just having a few words to Vangana.
I think Big Joe knows how to look after himself. He's just being encouraged by the referee not to do so. So they'll play it 25 out from the Melbourne line. No score, 12 and a half minutes gone. This is Pongia. Tackled low by Richard Swain. Inside the 20. Guttenbeil. Twisting and turning, and now 10 metres away from the line. Auckland with a great chance. They've already bombed one as they swing it back to the blind side. But no way through for Namu. Eru. Long cut-out pass. Picks up Stacey Jones, who brings it back to the blind side. This is Pongia. Shows the ball on the inside for Nullavour. Breaks a couple of tackles. And Joe Nullavour will score his first try in first-grade rugby league.
Well, Nullavour, how dangerous has he looked? He's looked like he dropped the football there for a repeat set for the Melbourne Storm a little earlier. But what about the power? Just the switch of play there from Namu. And that's a beautiful pass from Pongia here. Just the inside ball, straightens up. Look at the strength of the young fellow. Just carries one over, carries Robbie Ross over. But it's this pass here. The inside ball attracts a couple of players. And that's just power.
Gee, I tell you what, he had some big boots to fill, didn't he, Joe Nullavour? Matthew Ridge, the New Zealand and Auckland international. And on the evidence of what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, he could be an absolute star. He's played a lot of nines rugby league for Tonga. And look at that. A big moment for him. And if we noticed last weekend, Steve, how much he just seemed to enjoy his rugby league.
Yeah, well, he's going to take his opportunity too with Matthew Ridge out of the side. He's a big, powerful bloke. I wouldn't be surprised when Matthew Ridge does come back, he'll still be on the side on the wing somewhere.
Gene Namu to attempt the conversion. This to take Auckland out to a 6-0 lead. He strikes it sweetly and straight between the uprights. So the Auckland Warriors have taken the Melbourne Storm by storm. They lead by 6 points to 0.
As you can see here, it wasn't really a set play by the Auckland Warriors. An inside ball there. I mean, that's when Auckland are most dangerous.
So the shackles have been broken here at Olympic Park with a quarter of an hour gone. And the kickoff is a short one, and it falls into the waiting arms of Stacey Jones, who returns it to the 25-metre line. Big Joe Wagner again takes on the defence, twisting and turning, and the tackle of Russell Bowden. Pongia, short ball for Odenride, keeps it alive. It's been put down by Namu.
Now that's the problem too. After they've scored, they get a little bit excited and try to start to push the football. That's what they can't afford to do. They just got to get completions, get a good kick away. There's the force ball there from Odenride to Namu. It was. That just gives the football straight back to the Melbourne Storm.
As you can see, they've scored more than 4 a match, Melbourne, and Auckland's conceded 3.5 a game. So those are the sort of statistics which can decide games over the course of a season. Robbie Ross into dummy half. On for Kearns. Gets the offload for Kamali. Back inside for Nikau. Looking around for runners. Takes on the defence. Tawara Nikau now pushed back on his back. He'll play it 30 out for Swain. This is Rorty. Lazarus. Brought down in the tackle of Guttenbeil. 20 out they are. Kamali takes on the line. He's allowed to run.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. They're standing flat-footed at the moment, Auckland.
Scott Hill, inside for Martin. He steps and eventually put down about 5 away from Auckland's line. They're on the back foot, the Warriors. Kearns for Kamali. Cut out pass, picks up Bowden. Back for Kamali. The kick through. It's been juggled by Nullavow, and that'll be an error, and we'll come back for the scrum.
Yeah, it was good anticipation there from Nullavow. He just couldn't handle the kick. Beautiful positioning there from Kamali, just to put the little chip through. And some enterprising play from both sides here. There's Kamali going for the football now, and there's the knock forward.
You've gone too early, all right? I played the option. Next time it's penalty. Make sure you keep...
So Auckland adds to its error count, and they'll be under enormous pressure. 9 metres out from their own line. Kamali to feed the scrum. Hill on for Mule. Gets around his man. Brought down 5 metres out from the Auckland line. Can the Storm hit straight back? Hill, the inside ball for Kearns. So far, the Auckland defence is holding.
Yeah, great game from Kearns so far. 8 hit-ups already in this match.
Hill, short ball. Was it forward?
He's lost possession.
Well, I think we may be coming back for the forward pass, was it?
Just play the football, Rich.
There's Hill going right to the line. Robbie Ross coming onto the football. And there's the error.
Easy, no pill yet.
So a let-off for the Auckland Warriors. Richard Swain in the middle of that front row with a couple of big blokes outside him like Robbie Kearns and Glenn Lazarus.
Doesn't look real
Bit of
happy,
experience there, isn't there?
He doesn't look real happy there, Big Lazo, losing possession on the third tackle.
It's left for Stacey Jones to accept the tackle of Bowden.
Held two.
Up towards the 30-metre line they come. This is Brady Malem.
3. To me.
So Frank Endicott going to the interchange bench as we work it back to the blind side for Pongia. Hit straight on.
Great hit, Marquette it is. Oh no, it's not.
Bowden.
It's Bowden. Great hit.
This is the sort of defence that can get the Melbourne crowd on its feet. I suspect that we'll get a long kick shortly, and that's precisely what happens on the last from Gene Namu. A great kick. Goes over the head of Craig Smith and into touch 15 metres away from the Melbourne line.
Yeah, well left there by Craig Smith. He could have played at the football. Glenn Lazarus being replaced now by the Melbourne Storm for a rest.
The problem, though, for the Melbourne Storm now is that Auckland will have the feed. It was a 40-20,
Feeding loose.
as referee Judd Watt has just suggested. So Gene Namu, we thought it was a good option. It was actually a great one.
It could be the most important call in the first half. Let's see what they do. Don't get white line fever. They have the feed through Stacey Jones.
Jones on for Namu. The ball back for Namu, who's
great tackle, Ross.
Back, great defence from Robbie Ross. Nullavau is up. This is Malem.
Aaron Mule, get onside! Aaron Mule!
You can hear Aaron Mule being encouraged by the referee to get back onside. Jones.
Well, he shouldn't be telling them. He should be penalising them. There's the loose ball. He's offside, is he?
It's come off Brett Kamali, so Auckland now have 6 more tackles. This is Teodoro Party. They don't need to do anything stupid as Nigel Vangana sets sail for the line and takes a few players with him. 5 metres out from the Melbourne line. Eru for Jones. This is Guttenpeel with the offload for Anthony Swan, and the Warriors are in again.
Oh, what a ball there from Guttenpeel. I think Jadwat will check for a forward pass here. I'm sure that's why he's going to the replay. But what a ball there from Guttenpeel. Onto the replacement there, the number 14. Anthony Swan it was who ends up getting the try.
Yeah, gotcha. We're just looking for the grounding of the ball.
As we take a look here, what they're looking for is whether Anthony Swan grounded the ball perfectly. You can see he takes it from just a few metres out, and he's dropped it cold.
How embarrassing.
Well, that's a good decision from referee Jadwat to go to the video referee. It's a great run here by Guttenpeel. And look at this ball. Under the arms of Craig Smith.
Perfect timing too.
He didn't have to do anything apart from fall over the line. And what he's done is he's lost the football.
Give yourself 50. No try.
So Gene Namu, who's lining up the conversion, may instead have to give the ball back.
We know maybe about it.
Well, that is an enormous let-off for the Melbourne Storm. And gee, Justin, those are the sort of things that can break your heart.
They certainly can, especially after some great work with the 40-20 kick. They had an extra set of 6 down in the Melbourne quarter, and they've just bombed it with a silly mistake.
Here comes Marcus Bai again with another one of his hit-ups. He's not afraid.
Well, that should fire the Warriors up. Let's just have a look at the next set.
So now both teams have missed out on try-scoring opportunities. Kearns thought about the pass up over the halfway line. The play the ball is slowed down as they work it to the blind side for Kamali to run into a wall of defence. But he bounces off. Upended. Last tackle for Melbourne. Nikau. Long pass out for Martin. This is Marcus Bai, who goes to ground.
They took the option to run the ball on the last tackle. What a great tackle there from Stacey Jones. Lee Odenryan also did well.
And this is Odenryan having a hit up with the first touch of the football. I'm just not convinced that Marcus Bai realised it was the last tackle. Nullavau, who's seen his share of the football, as has this man, Big Joe Vangana. That's what you call it, don't argue.
Yeah, don't go try and go too high. He'll learn a lesson there. Hit him around the hips and slide down.
Malem runs into the wall that we call Russell Bowden. Ropati.
He's been good, hasn't he, Ropati? Loose playing it lock forward. Not afraid to run the football neither. He's had a real good first half there. 5 hit-ups already.
Over the top from Namu, but Ross is in good position to take it on his 20-metre line. He runs it back to this touch line, gets around one, gets around a couple. He's got support inside. And it'll come for the Warriors. That's a let-off for them.
He's held off the ball.
The touch judge was in good position.
This will be a penalty to the Storm.
And now he comes in.
Robbie Ross was held off the ball.
Number 11, come here, please. Number 11. 11.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's Logan Swan trying to make his way back into the...
That's a really, really good call.
Yeah, great return of the football. You've got to go up at Robbie Ross with numbers. He gets on the outside of his man. He tries to get the offload. The ball goes to ground. Just have a look at it. Held back away from trying to get from the football. just held off the ball there, Robbie Ross. That's a fair enough penalty too. Here's Lazarus.
Inside the second quarter of the match, and Melbourne just 10 metres away from the Auckland line. This is Wayne Evans. 3 metres out. For Swain, Nikau. Nikau will score!
Well, you can't afford to give back-to-back sets to any side in this competition, especially the Melbourne Storm. They work one in, they hit back. Just expecting the Warriors to be a little bit lazy. Nikau throws the dummy on the outside, a little bit over-read by the defence, and far too much power he gets over.
He makes it look so easy, Tawera Nikau. He's done it for so many clubs in the past, starting with Otahuhu in Auckland. Had a couple of stints in England as well, most latterly with the Cronulla Sharks.
I was going to say bless you then. What'd you say? That's true.
It's one of the great clubs of New Zealand Rugby League. The great Mark Graham played there. So it'll be Craig Smith. It's not a bad percentage, 73. But when you put it in the context of someone like a Daryl Halligan, it can look pretty ordinary. He's kicked 90% this year. This to tie the match up. He's brushed it across the front of the posts, and so Auckland still lead here at Olympic Park by 6 points to 4.
That's when Auckland are at their most vulnerable, is when the opposition gets back-to-back sets on them. And I think they'll be cursing that they dropped the ball down the other end. They had an opportunity.
So Nikau with the 4-pointer. And it'll be Tearopazi to take it back to the halfway line for the restart. But it could so easily have been 12-0. And instead, it's 6-4.
Yeah, just for a simple play too, just to put the ball over the line. Trying to be a little bit too fancy. There's the kick-off. Let's just see how the Melbourne Storm react after they've scored that try. Might lift a little bit. Here's Marcus Bai.
Well, Nigel Vangana not falling into the mistake of allowing Bai any room. Here's Lazarus. Gets through the tackle of Vangana, but picked up by Eru. Swain on for Nikau, the try scorer. He gets the crowd on his feet. Back to Hill. Gee, he's dangerous, so elusive. Scott Hill. The kick will come from Kamali, but it's a poor one and goes straight down the throat of Lee Odenrine, who, as you can see, has taken a bit of a knock to the face, and straight up in his face again is Russell Bowden.
He's really tried to lift his teammates since he's come on the field. Justin Bowden, he's tackled strongly.
Been very impressed by him. He's been very strong in defence.
No, you got pulled off the ball.
So a penalty goes to Auckland. A relieving penalty it'll be too. And so they'll have the opportunity to just settle their play a little. They've been bustled and hurried in the last 10 minutes or so. They've bombed a try. They've had one scored against them. And here's a good opportunity from the halfway line in the hands of Pongia. Put down by Bowden and Nikau over the top. Into the line comes Tony Tutupu. Had to be a penalty there.
Too long, Glenn, too long.
She's got his feet mixed up. I don't know how you'd give a penalty there. He's trying his best to get away. Tutupu, very strong player. Lazarus just lies on a little bit. Someone's obviously said something.
It was Lazarus.
I haven't spoken down to you yet, have I? No, I haven't spoken down. I'm going to call it like I see it. You're in there too long. I'll be consistent with it, all right? All right, yeah, Glenn, don't swear, all right.
I think you might have been able to sense the disappointment in the tone of Glenn Lazarus's voice. It's been a tough week for him, along with all of his teammates. And it allows Gene Namu to take a long-range penalty attempt. I'm not so sure, Justin, I'd be taking it from this far out.
No, but I think it's maybe an opportunity for the Auckland side to settle down a bit. Melbourne have been getting on top in the arm wrestle, and maybe this will settle them down and get them back in the game.
I think you'd have to have a look at the weight of possession. The Storm has really turned that down in the second part, or turned it around in the second part of the first half. Namu.
He moves in from 32 metres out. He strikes it cleanly, straight between the uprights. And Auckland's lead is back to 4. Well, you're absolutely right, Justin. It was precisely what they needed in the end. They'll now have the opportunity to get the ball back and settle.
Very important set of 6 for Auckland, this one.
Well, the kickoff's a shocker. It comes for Endicott.
I think what he was trying to do was trying to find touch with it, but it come off the side of the boot. Here's Rapati, who's probably been their best player in the first half.
Didn't have a bad game last weekend either against St George. The ball's gone backwards and it's been well picked up. And so Auckland comes up towards the halfway line. Endicott cut down in a low tackle of Lazarus. He'll try and get off his head and play it on the halfway line. Jones for Namu. Jones on the run around will switch the play back for Opati. No way through there, son. The gap closed on him. Last tackle for Auckland. Jones steps off the right foot and will kick it back towards the centre of the field. No one home there. By's going back. Ross gets there first.
Give it to him. I want to see him run the ball. He'll have a run now anyway in second in the dummy half.
The Auckland chase was a good one as By comes away with the football and almost through the gap before taken low by Tutupu.
He didn't look on the outside.
Oh. Martin, just 19 years of age, just his 10th game. He'll play it for Swain. On to Nikau.
Big decision to come down to the Melbourne Storm too at that age. You'd want a bit of, well, you'd want a team that's been in the competition for a long time. Brand new team, Melbourne Storm. Here's Lazarus with another charging run.
Well, with Tony Martin, half an hour after he'd signed for the Melbourne Storm, the Brisbane Broncos asked. Too late. So out on the full, a mistake from the Storm and another opportunity for the Warriors.
Yeah, good pressure there from the Warriors. Gee, they've been impressive. I suppose one of the things that they don't do well, that they've done well in this game, is they get off their line in defence. They've done that well so far.
Tutupu out wide, wrestled to the ground by Tawera Nikau. Pongia, straight at them. Gee, Russell Bowden's been impressive in defence. This is Namu coming back against the run of play, put down 30 metres out.
What they've got to watch for here is that Stacey Jones doesn't sneak up with one of his trademark runs.
Trying to stop the offload from Vangana successfully. Eru. Jones looking for the inside ball. There's Odenrine. Put down 20 metres out on the last. Will they go to the air, the Warriors? Jones is there. He puts it along the ground. By picks it up, and the Auckland chase is a good one.
Oh, I thought he was going to offload the ball there. Great chase. Gee, Namu comes up, you'd have backed Marcus By to get out of there in the in-goal area. Beautifully picked up. Just have a look at this. I thought he was going to pass. Oh, don't.
Got a lot of help there as well.
You'll end up in the park with newspaper on your passing in the goal area.
Lee Odenrine over the top there as well. So the goal line dropout will fall quite nicely for Opati. Up towards the 30-metre line, throws the offload for Tutupu out wide. And he's put down in the tackle of By and also Martin. Just under 8 minutes to go as Pongia just manages to hold on to the football. This is Guttenbeil. Jones juggles it. The ball came back inside for Logan Swan.
Was there an Auckland Warrior taken out of play there?
No one said anything, but he's lying flat on the dirt. Pongia with the offload. This is Malem. He gets it away for Endicott. Endicott brings Paul Stellardi back inside.
Smashed by Smith. Great tackle.
10 metres out. Last tackle for Auckland. Jones will go to the air, out towards By's wing. Warriors are up there. Try! Odenrine.
I think it's knocked forward by Odenrine. We're going to go to the videotape.
We're just going to check it. Yeah, we believe it's a knock on.
I think it's come off an Auckland Warrior forward.
So we wait.
Tell you what, the heart will be in the mouth of the Melbourne Storm. It's a great chase. They keep going to Marcus by his wing. Let's just have a look at it. This probably won't be the shot that'll tell us.
Well, it's come off his chest.
Yeah,
That's a try.
Doesn't come off his hands.
This will be the angle that will tell us. Lee Odenrine it was who went up for the ball, but it bounced off his chest.
I suppose what you've got to think about here is, was he playing at the football?
Well, that's a difficult one, but I'd call that a try. Peter Filmer is our video referee, and he doesn't agree with me.
I think you'll find, Justin, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but if you play at the football and it does go forward, that's a knock-on.
Yeah, it's like trying to take an intercept pass.
Bringing the ball away was Wayne Evans, who'll play it 30 out from the line.
I've got to say, they've been unlucky. They've been the better side in the first half and deserved the lead.
Driving into the tackle, he's held. Get up.
Melbourne with the penalty. A timely one. With 6.5 to go in the half. Shane Endicott is there, just dallying a little too long. Lazarus again. He has another touch. His 9th hit up of the match. This is Evans. Plays at 25 out. Kamali. The pass in behind. Picks up Matt Rua. A big moment for the young junior Kiwi. His first grade debut this evening. Tawara Nikau, short ball for Hill, brought down 10 metres out. Nikau's already scored 1 try. Robbie Ross is up in the line. Put down just 2 metres away from the Auckland line on the last. Kamali with the kick ahead. Comes off an Auckland player.
Yeah, knock on there by Hill. Auckland come up with the football. What an entertaining game of football this has been. Both sides denied tries so far in the first half.
This is Stellardi, taken low. Tearopati thought about the inside ball for Nigel Vangana and thought again. He's a little groggy getting to his feet as they go to the blind side for Tutupu. Last tackle, it's been a great defensive set for Melbourne. The kick will be a long one again from Namu, from deep inside his territory. He'll go for the 40-20 again and get it. So twice in the match now, Gene Namu has kicked a 40-20.
Well, Justin, we've got to ask you about the breeze down there, mate. Is it supporting the Auckland Warriors in the first half?
It certainly is, and Namu's taken advantage of it twice now, and this is going to be a great opportunity just before half-time for Auckland to score another try.
It's a harder thing to do than you think.
Oh.
That's why we don't see it that often.
No, I think it's hard.
I practice at training all the time, but they won't let me do it in a game.
It's harder than what I think, then.
I tell you what, Johnny Simon doesn't do badly for your boys.
At least they let you practice, Justin.
So an important scrum for the Auckland Warriors with 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Their lead is 4. Can they improve upon it? Off the back of the scrum they come. It's been stripped 1-on-1. It comes back for Auckland. 6 more tackles. Jones with the ball. Oh, well, they almost had a let-off and then they fumbled again, the Melbourne Storm. Eru on for Namu. The ball inside for Logan Swan. Inside the Melbourne 20. They work the blind side. Straight through. They try and go for Guttenbeil. He'll play it just 4 metres away from the line. Eru from dummy half. Gets there!
How strong is he?
That's a great try for Auckland.
Oh, stop going to the video replay. That is a try.
I don't think there's any doubt about this one. In referee Jadwat's defence, he was unsighted. He was on the other side of a whole wall of Melbourne players.
I'll tell you what, Chris Anderson won't be very happy. He knows that this was going to be a contest. They got beaten in the first game. Just ducks under a couple of tackles. There's Siduru. That's a try. I don't know why they're going to the video.
He's done a Benny Elias. He's ducked under a couple and reached out. But that has always been a part of Sideru's game. The darting run from dummy half. Swain just not up to the task in defence. And the Auckland hookers in for an important try. So Auckland have scored. Takes their lead now out to 12 points to 4 with the kick to come. And so far this evening, Namu's kicked beautifully. But again, Justin, it comes back to that 40-20 kick.
Exactly. They've got a couple of opportunities because of the 40-20 kick. And I think Chris Anderson will be very disappointed. Any team scoring from dummy half, it's usually very soft tries.
You can see there in the middle of your screen, number 18, Matt Ruhr. By any other circumstance, he might have been playing for Auckland. He's a junior Kiwi. Played for Manly last year, played for the Manly Reserves. This is his first grade debut. He's a pretty hard-working forward and big things are expected of him. Just 20 years old. We've got to start somewhere, Block.
Two good clubs too. Manly, not a bad place to start. Here's Namu.
That's where this man started, Gene Namu. Moves in now. Strikes it pretty sweetly. Again, straight between the uprights. Melbourne now trailed by 10 points. Auckland 14 points to 4.
Okay, great opportunity there for Auckland. Now they need to control the ball for the next set of 6. Kick the ball down the other end of the field and keep Melbourne down there.
Looks pretty good too, doesn't it? Gene Namu with a perfect record tonight so far with his kicking. And we're still not on half time. Just over 2 minutes to go in the half, and Auckland are out by 10. We saw St George last night lose a pretty good half-time lead. I'm sure that'll be one of the topics of the conversation of Frank Endicott.
I suppose one of the unfortunate things for the Auckland Warriors is Tia Rapati has just left the field, hobbled off. It looked like to be an ankle injury. So that's a little bit unfortunate. There's Malem stopped in his track.
Back for Odenrine. They're going nowhere, the Warriors, and it's been knocked on. And so Melbourne will get a final opportunity as we try to close out this first half.
Sorry, Paul. No, you're bleeding.
We've got a blood bin and Paul Marquette.
The unfortunate thing about Marquette's cut is it's on the cheek. It just keeps bleeding. You can't cover it up.
There's nothing else you can do except returning to the sideline to seek treatment.
Same again, Lock. Keep your head in.
Ben Rorty will take his place in the scrum. And you can see the disappointment already on the face of Glenn Lazarus. It's been a frustrating night for him and his team.
Stay in, Lock. Stay in, Lock. Stay in.
Kimorley with the scrum feed. They swing it to the right-hand side for Hill. A minute and a half to go in this first half. Bye. Puts the foot down, picks up another 10 metres for Melbourne. This is Evans. Evans looking round to offload, does so now. Just a metre away from the Auckland line.
He's had an impact, hasn't he, Evans? Strong off the bench.
Nikau again gets the offload. Kimorley with the kick. Odenrine is out there and takes it brilliantly. Wow, we are in Melbourne.
Oh, just hop over to the MCG after that. That's sensational.
Oh, Plugger would have been thrilled with that one. Stacey Jones.
There's plenty of chasers there too. You get a shirt full of broken ribs, putting your hand above the air like that.
In a concession to the other code of football they play here in Melbourne, Lee Odenrine takes a blinder. Time running out in this first half as we work it to the blind for Tony Tutupu, who's been prominent since he's come on. Working that left-hand side of the field.
The interesting thing for me will be how they leave the field at half-time.
Namu again with the long kick downfield. Taken on the first bounce by Ross. He'll take the tackle on the 40-metre line. And they'll go to the half-time break with the Auckland Warriors leading the Melbourne Storm by 14 points to 4. We'll take a short break from Olympic Park. Back on the other side with all of the highlights of the first half. Welcome back to Olympic Park as the smoke starts to clear from the half-time entertainment. And the Auckland Warriors will come out shortly and they will resume the second half with a 10-point lead. Some of the Melbourne Storm supporters show their allegiances in funny ways.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for the Auckland Warriors going into the breeze in the second half. I'm sure that Kimorley will control the short and long kicking game for the Melbourne Storm. And they look keen to get back out too. Chris Anderson still laying down the law. And Kamali will play a big part in this second half.
Some last-minute instructions from Frank Endicott for his team. Quentin Pongia with a pat on the back. Teoropati is there as well. And a word of encouragement for every single one of his players. They've got a job ahead of them, the Auckland Warriors. It was always going to be tough for them to make the top 10 of this National Rugby League competition. Stacey Jones, the last man out. And it's going to be a tough thing for them to get there. The Melbourne Storm aren't only there, they lead the competition. Their competition lead goes on the line over the next 40 minutes.
I'm sure Chris Anderson will be saying, well, this is our home ground, let's not be embarrassed in front of our crowd. But in saying that too, I really do believe that the Auckland Warriors played better in the first half. Here they come straight back onto the field for the second half.
Quentin Pongia, who was one of Auckland's best forwards in that first half. Tony Tutupu as well. He ranges out wide, Tony Tutupu. He can be so dangerous when he starts running angles and trying to get those offloads. Quentin Pongia, well, we know what he does best. He just runs straight at him.
And Gutenberg too, we'd have to give him a bit of a rap too. He played well in the first half, made a number of breaks. He proved a handful. Here's Lazarus leading out the Melbourne Storm with the breeze in the second half.
Ben Rorty comes out for the start of the second half with a bit of a limp.
No good limping. Putting someone out there 100%.
11 tackles in the first half for the Melbourne captain. It's a test of character. It's been a test of character all week for his team. Especially so in this second half. His team trails by 10. And the Auckland Warriors finished that first half pretty well. They scored a late try. They might have had another. Referee Jadwat about to get us underway. Let the hostilities commence. The kick from Namu goes low and off the leg of Robbie Ross, and it comes nicely for Glenn Lazarus. He'll play it, and guess who's there? Marcus Bai? No, he won't get the opportunity. Tutupu.
He did well there too, Lazarus. He held on to the back of Tutupu's neck. Experience shown up here. Here it is. Just watch that. Just holds him down a little bit. And well done there from Glenn Lazarus to win his side of the first penalty of the second half. And this is a good opportunity now for the Melbourne Storm.
A very good start to the second half for the Melbourne Storm, and Justin Morgan is now down on the sideline with a man with a smile on his face.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's very important for Melbourne to start this half very, very well. They need to get a good kicking game in, use the wind to their advantage, and hopefully get some good 40-20 kicks. I've got Chris Johns here with me at the moment. Chris, a little bit disappointing in the first half. What was said at half-time?
Yeah, the coach was very worried about those 40-20 kicks, and we've really got to get our house in order. The forwards have been outstanding out there in defence, and a couple of players, I think, let us down there in that first half, and we're going to get that right in this second half and go out there and try and match the enthusiasm that this Auckland side's got tonight.
As you mentioned, Auckland started the first half with a lot of enthusiasm. Stacey Jones and their forwards really took the ball forward for them. I think you guys really need to start this second half very, very well in the first 10 minutes.
Sorry, Justin and Chris, we'll come back to you in a moment. The Melbourne Storm hot on attack. Kearns puts on the fend. Kamali on the run around. Hill is there to score.
They did it so calmly, didn't they? Just the turnover from the Auckland Warriors. And that's beautiful play. That's class all over. They just settled down, worked to one part of the field, hit straight back, and it's Hill who gets the try for the Melbourne Storm. And he says, let's go.
The kick through was a good one. It was juggled and then lost. Kamali was there to clean it all up. And they got there quickly from the play the ball. And have a look at this. A try is born. Good offload from Kearns and just fast hands, and Scott Hill is in for his 10th try of the year.
Yeah, just a second phase play again. There's Robbie Kearns, gets the football as he often does And Hill, beautiful ball on the outside to Hill. Done it so quickly, Kamali. And that's a great try to Hill to put them back into the game. And that's what they need against this Warriors side. You need repeat sets. Here's Smith now, comes in with the kick.
And he's pushed it wide. So that could be an important miss for Craig Smith, because Auckland lead now by 6 points, 14-8. As we now go back to the sideline with Justin and Chris Johns.
Thanks very much. As we were mentioning, a good start in the second half was needed by Melbourne. That was almost a perfect start, Chris.
Yes, it was, and I think that come through a Auckland mistake, and Auckland's both their tries came from mistakes from Melbourne Storm, and as I said before, we really just got to consolidate in this second half, and hopefully we can come all over the top of this Auckland side.
Thanks very much, Chris, and back to you guys upstairs.
Thanks very much, Justin and Chris Johns, who would have appreciated the sort of play that created that try. Just a bit of a delay in the restart. And Auckland's lead, which was 10 at half-time, is suddenly cut to 6. As it comes down for Lazarus to take the ball 8 metres out from his own line. Bai is there to add another hit up to his record-breaking list.
I suppose the most important thing now for the Melbourne Storm is to score back-to-back. That'll really put some pressure on the Auckland Warriors. Here's Kearns again with another good, solid run in the middle.
It was his offload that helped create the last try on Kamali to kick on the fourth tackle. Nullivau in good position to take it on his 10-metre line. Can't get around the defence of Kamali and Hill, though. The halves up quickly in defence. Odenrine offloads. And Auckland, who've been scored against early in the second half, really need to hit back and do it quickly. This is Pongia. That's where they'll find their meters. Go to their big men like Pongia and him. This guy here, Joe Vangana. Tawaranekau sensed the threat. Back for Namu. He'll kick from inside his 40-metre line again. Taken by Bai on the fly. And he'll come towards this touchline.
Yeah, that was a poor set of 6 tackles from the Auckland Warriors. They had trouble getting out of their own end. And then the kick on the end of it. Now we see the Melbourne Storm straight away on the attack on the second tackle.
Here's Aaron Mule. He spent a lot of the early part of the season out with an injured shoulder. Back now and in good form. Kearns. 35 out from the Auckland line. Kamali on for Hill. Shows the ball inside for Martin. The play was pretty well telegraphed and the Auckland Warriors were up in defence. The last tackle now for Melbourne. Kamali goes to the air. Nullivau is back there. And he drops it over the dead ball line.
No.
So we'll come back to the goal line dropout. And those sorts of things can put all sorts of pressure on your forwards, as I'm sure Justin Morgan would be well aware.
And you've got to say, that's been the difference so far early in the second half, is the repeat sets that they're allowed to get, the Melbourne Storm. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get a try off this next set. They're looking very dangerous.
Logan Swan and Sideru.
One hit up for one try.
Prominent in defence. So Namu with the dropout into this strong breeze at Olympic Park. And straight into the brick wall called Joe Wagner. Here's Lazarus. And suddenly there's a spring in the step of the Melbourne Storm. Up over the 20 they come. Swain for Kamali. Long pass for Hill. On the outside goes Mule, dragged down just a couple of metres away from the Auckland line. Hill is there. He's already scored one try. He goes looking for another. Still gets the offload. They've got to muscle up in defence, Auckland. A fast play the ball. Kamali. Nikau. On the run around is Kearns. So strong, Kearns with the offload. Martin is there for the try.
Yeah, we'll put it down to Robbie Kearns again with the offload. He's done enormously well here. Took a little juggle in the end, Tony Martin. That's the back try that they were looking for. And Robbie Kearns just come from an angle on the run. Here's Nick out. This is the ability of this Melbourne Storm side, allowed to stand in tackles. There's Kearns, there's the gap opening up on the inside, there's the juggle, and Martin scores.
Once again, two of Melbourne's prominent forwards, Tawata Nikau in 13 and Robbie Kearns here in number 10. Jones went high, and that allowed Kearns to twist and turn in the offload. And it was Tony Martin who ran the inside line to pick up his second try of the year.
Can we do something about that headgear? Something.
The lemon squeezer, just 19 years of age. And Craig Smith, who hasn't been successful all night, will attempt this one to tie it all up. He moves in. And again he misses, so Auckland still have the lead by 14 points to 12.
Robbie Kearns and Tiara Nikau there showing some great skill there. I've been very, very impressed by Tony Martin this evening. He's made some good inroads and deserved that try.
Great try by Tony Martin. So it'll be Gene Namu back to the halfway line for the restart. And taking it on the full was Robbie Ross. And again, it's Lazarus to take it back at the Auckland Warriors. They've conceded 2 unconverted tries in the first 8 minutes of the second half. Marcus Bai twists and turns out of a couple of tackles.
Look at the crowd stand when he gets the football. They love him.
Very quick to their feet whenever he touches the ball. Out on the left-hand side is Ben Rorty. Swain on for Kamali. Oh, juggled by Odenrine and eventually taken. Tries to push off Martin, the try scorer, does so.
They've just got to have a settling set of 6 tackles now, the Auckland Warriors. Everything that they've tried to do hasn't come off. They need to settle down just that little bit.
Odenrine's in some trouble there as well.
I'm not blowing a penalty. Come here.
And it's Brett Kamali who's being called out. You can see here Odenrine.
2 players involved in the tackle.
Ooh, and he's got that one right on the chin. The referee was there, the touch judge would have been in good position, and no one saw it.
Contact, I can't blow a penalty because I don't know where he hit him, but I'm putting the tackle on report. All right? Yeah, that's right. I didn't see it. The man's down. I'm just covering. All right? No, that's all right. Tackle's on report. Tackle 1 there.
This may be the angle that tells us. Over the top comes Scott Hill, it was, and that's on report.
It's like pick a box, isn't it? He could have picked out 100 players then. Wouldn't have got the right one. Put that on report, please.
Wagner with the header, straight at Kearns. 35 away from his own line. Guttenbeil manages to offload. Out on the right-hand side, the Warriors come away through Nullivar. Playing it is Stiladi for Eru. They'll go to the air on the last, kicking in behind Bai, but he's in better position to take it on the full. Jones is up there in defence, so is Logan Swan.
They've got absolutely no idea, the Warriors. Why do they keep kicking to Marcus Bai? He's their best yard getter.
This is Mule.
And hold.
For Swain. Here's Marquette.
Get him back.
It's been a while since he's had that cut open. Nikau shows the ball on the outside, takes the tackle over the 40-metre line. Kearns. Last tackle for Melbourne. To the blind side they come for Swain. And it dribbles into touch 25 metres out from the Auckland line.
I've got to say, Justin, this referee gives enough warnings, doesn't he? Get back, make sure you're back.
Certainly do. He's not using his whistle enough, I don't think. I think the 10 metres is getting a little bit skinnier as the game's progressed.
Here it is, Sid.
7 handling errors for Auckland. All of the line breaks all square so far.
It's in on the 20.
And Melbourne now
In on the
with
20, fellas. Take it in.
the dominant share
Outside foot
of
point.
possession. But an Auckland
Stay in
scrum to
team.
go down, and Stacey Jones to feed. Just over 10 minutes gone in the second half. Namu tries to step inside the tackle of Hill. Coming on in the headgear is Jerry Susu. Struggling to his feet, looking to play the ball for Eru. So Frank Endicott has gone to his interchange bench as Malem now plays it for Eru. Pongia. He runs it. Kamali goes straight through. The big front row is looking for support.
Great tackle by.
A tackle of Marcus Bai. Odenrine having a dart from dummy half. They've picked up 40 metres in the last 2 tackles. Last tackle now for Auckland. And Odenrine has gone down again. He's had a pretty ordinary last couple of minutes. Stacey Jones goes to the air, but there weren't too many Auckland Warriors aware of it. It's come forward from the Melbourne Storm. Still on the last. Nullavow goes to the air. And those 2 players were offside. Well, that was just foolish from the Auckland Warriors.
You didn't see anything?
There didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. The first bomb went up. There was no one really looking to compete for the ball. And when the second one went up, they shouldn't have.
I'll tell you what I did love, Marcus Bai's tackle on Quinton Pongia. It's a hard tackle to make too. He just picked him up and drove him. Great defence.
Malem and Guttenbeil on Lazarus. Here's Kearns with another touch of the football. His 16th hit up of the match. And Auckland have seen their lead erode in this second half. If Smith had been on target with the boot, they would have lost it. As it is, they lead by 2. They work the blind side for Mule, who steps around a couple, picks up 10 metres. He'll play it now 25 metres out from the Auckland line. Kamali for Nikau to come back to the blind side. He looks around to offload before being pushed back in the tackle. Last tackle for Melbourne. Kamali will go to the ground and they'll pick it up and score!
Genius.
They make it look so easy, the Melbourne Storm.
Is he going to have another look or is he going to blow his whistle?
We'll go to the video referee.
I'll tell you what, it was a set play there. Beautiful ball.
I think he wants to check whether he was onside or not.
Great little chip through by Kamali. Set play here. They do it so well. Kamali goes at the line. Robbie Ross on the inside. No, he's onside.
He's well onside. And it just dribbled nicely for him, didn't
Where
it?
the pickup?
Oh, picked up nicely. And no danger about that. And the Melbourne Storm, for the first time in the match, will hit the lead.
I think what you find here is that he runs his player onside. He runs right to the line. Beautifully chipped, picked up beautifully. And Robbie Ross scores.
We still don't have official notification that it is a try. Just having another look at the video referee. Peter Filmer, still not sure about something. Everything looks okay from that angle. I'm not quite sure what the hold-up is about. We've gone to the video referee a couple of times this evening.
A couple? We haven't been away from it. Annoying.
Robbie Ross, will he be denied? Or will he score the try, which gives the lead back to the Melbourne Storm? We go to the video referee again. Well, it's one way to kill time. I think he's made his decision. And it's one that they love here. He took his time about it. The crowd don't care. As far as they're concerned, they got the right one. But the Auckland Warriors have now conceded 3 tries in the second half. And Craig Smith, who's had an off night with the boot, you'd have to say, finally gets one to go between the uprights.
And that's the biggest cheer of the night.
And Melbourne now leading Auckland by 18 points to 14. This is where the Warriors have been so vulnerable in the past. They've got out to a good lead and allowed the opposition to come back. They beat Melbourne at home in round 5. Melbourne want a return serve here at Olympic Park. Nikau kicking his way out of the tackle. Here's Bai.
Again. Let's just have a look at his hit-ups here. Marcus Bai, unbelievable. 16 hit-ups for the match.
Newell up over the halfway line. And the penalty's gone Melbourne's way. And so it's foolish mistakes now from the Auckland Warriors, which could cost them this match. And it'll be Melbourne again in great position to attack Auckland's line through Kearns. 15 out. Here's Evans. Offloads. And it'll be Swain to go to ground just 4 metres away from the Auckland line. Kearns for Kamali. Hill is there. Martin is in behind. Here's Bai. But Stacey Jones is there, as is Nigel Vangana.
That should be a sin bin, that.
Someone may go this time.
He's told them all night. See ya. To Tupu it is.
That's Nigel.
Okay, you're slowing down the play of the
Vangana.
ball. Consider yourself lucky. Very line ball. Get your hand off the ball, all right? Get him, tell him, hand off the ball. I told you that at the start.
Well, the Auckland Warriors have got to start getting smart because they're conceding too many penalties, they're conceding too much ground, and at this stage they're conceding the match.
Obviously just trying to slow it up a little bit. And that's Vangana over the top, just coming in, putting his hand on the football, trying to slow things down. Marcus Bai kicks out.
Yeah.
And milks
As
it
you'd
a little
expect him to do.
bit. He milks it a bit.
So Melbourne getting the lion's share of the penalties, but understandably so.
But the Auckland Warriors just haven't done what they did in the first half, and that was control the football. They did it so well. Just haven't done that. And Melbourne are piling on the points. Here's Smith again with another conversion attempt.
He's kicked 1 from 4 so far tonight. This one he's managed to slot through, and now Melbourne are out to a 6-point lead. They come back at the Auckland Warriors and now lead by 20 points to 14. For a man who was striking it pretty ordinarily in the first half, he makes it look pretty easy in the second, doesn't he? With the wind behind him, he bends it around. And the Storm now starting to get comfortable. Namu will kick into the teeth of this strong wind. And it's picked up just a couple of metres away from his own line and pushed back, and some great Auckland defence. Those are the sorts of things they need. That's what's been lacking, Justin Morgan.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the other thing, Melbourne is staying very composed when they get down to the other end of the field, getting to their last play and putting some very good kicks in.
Robbie Kearns so strong as he hits the ball up. Auckland really need to put together a terminal set of 6 almost, as Evans will play it. This is Swain dancing out of the play the ball. Now he's kicked that from inside his 40. Nullavow is in pretty good position to take it on the full. But look at the swarm of Melbourne Storm players up there. Tell you what, if he'd broken the first line, he was away.
I'll tell you something else too, he's a handful. Played enormously well. Pongia leaves the field for the Auckland Warriors.
Taking his place is Tony Tutupu. To the right-hand side they come to Susu. Eru. Jones, inside for Vangana. Last tackle Auckland. Namu with the kick back again to Bai's wing. It's like shelling peas.
Ah, it's embarrassing.
Robbie Ross can't get on the outside of his man in Anthony Swan. Well, he milked that one.
Oh, he's found one. He's got the hands all over him.
Get out of it, get out of it.
A couple of Melbourne players going over there to, you can see here, He wasn't on his feet, and that is a penalty. You have to have both knees off the ground before you're allowed to play the ball. So now Auckland with an opportunity to come back. Inside Melbourne's 10-metre line. Malum. Just playing it one off at the moment, Auckland. 1 metre out. Eru for Jones. Namu steps inside. Gene Namu scores. They hit straight back, Auckland, and we could have a tied-up ball game.
Yeah, not a bad time to run the football. He hasn't run it all night. Gene Namu. The Auckland Warriors were calling for him to do something. You know, he's a clever player, just works straight to the middle of the field. And just a one-pass runner. Namu does it all on his own. A little jig. He steps inside Nikau. And Robbie Ross just a little too late. Nikau, watch Nikau here, flat-footed. A little step off the left foot. And Namu scores.
I was just about to say that we really need something like a Stacey Jones to set this Auckland team alight. Well, he left it to his halves partner, Gene Namu. Stepped off the left foot, gave Tawa to Nikau no chance, and Russell Bowden as well. And in they go. And this from the man who scored the try to tie up the ball game. It won't be an easy kick. You can see the flags at the top of the goalposts here at Olympic Park. They're more than ruffling in the breeze. They really are playing into a strong wind here in this second half. I've seen their first half lead eroded and then disappear. This to tie it all up at 20 all. And he pushes it wide. So Melbourne's lead is preserved. 20 points to Auckland over Auckland.
Auckland, they're a very hard team to predict. They didn't look too interested in the first 10 minutes of this half, and they hit back straight away with the try.
You can see the hands go up in disgust in the background. Straight after Gene Namu crossed the Melbourne line. It'll be Kamali with the restart. A quarter of the match to go. Melbourne leading Auckland by 20 points to 18. Here goes Vangana. Slammed onto his back, up over the 20. Susu. This is Brady Malum.
I tell you, if you haven't enjoyed this game, you're pretty hard to please. It's been a great open game of football. 20 points to 18 in favour of Melbourne. Let's see if the Auckland Warriors have got any bottle left.
Well, this time, Tawa Nikau was up quickly on Namu. Trying to run the blind side is Tutupu, but finding no way through there. The kick comes from Jones, but into this breeze it falls 10 or so metres in front of Robbie Ross. This is By. Look out. He brings in his wing, Craig Smith. He comes back towards the centre of the field where he's tackled by Susu and also Sideru. Marquette falls over, picks himself up again. Evans, how impressive has he been as he makes a half a break up over the Auckland 40. They bring it to the blind for Kamali. He's got Nikau there as well, trying to run the angle. Fourth tackle now for the Melbourne Storm. Kamali with a long pass for Scott Hill. The kick in behind. Will Nullavow get there? It beats everyone into touch.
Yeah, he will get there, but was Robbie Ross taken out of play?
Wait, hang on.
Hang on, the touch is in. I'm sure you'll find this will be a penalty to Melbourne Storm. Can you check on what?
He's just checking that it's gone dead.
Sure it's dead. His body's come across.
Just at the moment of the completion of that play, you can see referee Jadwat is in the background and can't get a good view of it. That's on the line, that's out. And so a let-off for the Auckland Storm. The Auckland Warriors, I should say.
Might be more like looking at the tackle when Robbie Ross was taken out of the play. Look at that.
So back to the 20-metre line we come. And it's that man Nullavow to play it. Susu. Odenrine. He's taken a couple of heavy knocks tonight. One of them has been put on report from Scott Hill. Vangana looks to offload, gets it away for Jones. He's got Stellati outside, he's a speedster. Brought down 25 away from the Melbourne line. Here's Namu. He goes to the air early in the count. Odin Ryan tips it back, but the Warriors are going backwards. Did the pass go forward?
Also did. So did
that one went forward as well. Here's Nullival to step inside a couple of tackles.
What is that touchy doing? Go home.
Still the last tackle for the Auckland Warriors as the kick comes in behind Craig Smith and goes into touch just a metre away from the corner flag.
He's had a dead set shocker. He's made 3 mistakes in 1 second.
So this game, Justin Morgan, being played at pace and with great intensity.
It certainly is. Auckland certainly do it the hard way. They lost about 30 or 40 metres, and then they kicked the ball 1 metre short of the try line over the sideline. So they're certainly making it hard on themselves to get some field position.
Frank Endicott again going to his bench, and it'll be his son Shane. He'll pop his head in the back of the scrum. Guttenbeil with 18 tackles.
Come on, let's take it back. No feet, no feet.
The scrum feed for the Melbourne Storm. Smith dances away from one. Brought down in the second.
That bruise looks like it's picked up down there, Justin.
Yeah, in the last 4 or 5 minutes it's certainly picked up, and I think Melbourne need to use that to their advantage.
Come on.
Well, that little offload looked like it might have gone forward from Melbourne as well. Here's Lazarus. Runs straight at Malem. Up towards the halfway line, the Storm come. Kamali kicks on the 4th. Stellati's going back in defence. He picks it 10 metres out from his own line and runs straight at Hill. The Warriors taking their time getting back. Nullival tries to skip out of the first tackle, brought down. Odin Ryan in from the other wing, going looking for work. Jones, the short ball for Susu.
They just lack that one game breaker, don't they, out in the centres? An inside or outside centre can really split open games.
A shocking pass from Joe Wagner has put his team under enormous pressure as it's come back the Melbourne Storm's way, and pinched again from the Auckland Warriors, comes back for Kamali, and the Melbourne Storm have got 6 more.
Beauty.
That's a great hit from Joe Wagner. They work the blind for bye.
Let's have a look at it. He's looking on the outside here. Ushka!
Oh, that'll teach him for not looking. So Auckland under enormous pressure now. Hill, he's already scored 1 try, goes looking for another. Manages to get the offload, but it comes back for Auckland.
6 again.
6 more tackles. He couldn't have been onside. Lazarus sets sail for the line. Melbourne lead by 2. Kamali. Robbie Ross dragged down by Susu just a metre out.
He's lost possession. That'll be a scrum. There wasn't a hand in there. Fair enough. Good refereeing.
Robbie Ross can't believe it. Neither can Brett Kamali. I'm sure Lazarus will turn up in the shot sometime soon and have his say as well. You can see that. No one near him. It's disappointing for the Melbourne fullback, but nothing he can do about it now. So a let-off for the Auckland Warriors as Jones feeds the scrum 10 metres out. Namu.
They need to get some second phase, the Auckland Warriors.
Tell you who they have missed tonight, and that's Stephen Kearney.
And he provides that for them.
He's taken some hits tonight. Lee Odin Ryan.
And more hits than Elvis.
Oh. Susu. Tackled low by Rua. Jones with the little kick ahead. Lazarus is slow coming to it. And Jones tackles the Melbourne captain. We've got 6 tackles
he's got to run
to
the
Melbourne.
football, Jones. He hasn't run it much tonight. He's only had 4 runs. His team needs him right now.
A try anytime soon will break it open. Bowden on the inside. This is Smith. By with another hitter. Goes backwards first. Comes back to the open side. Tries to open the door and it slams on it. 25 out as they work it to the blind for Kamali. Inside for Bowden. He gets an offload back to the halfback. They've got to close down these offloads. Last tackle now for Melbourne. 15 out. Hill is there. He takes it to the line and kicks. Jones is there. He offloads for Stellati.
Oh, no.
And will come back to the goal line for a dropout.
He'll be in the park with newspaper on him too.
Oh. Justin, those sorts of things can break forwards' hearts.
They certainly can. That's heart attack material doing things like that, especially when the score is so close.
Just over 13,000 here tonight at Olympic Park on a very, very cold Melbourne evening. It got down to 6 degrees at one stage, and that's where it's remained. It's a tropical night for anyone who comes from Canterbury. Odenrine with the dropout. It falls for Hill. Here's Kearns. Inside the 20-metre line. Rua. He's probably got a couple of junior Kiwi teammates on the other side tonight. Hill takes it to the line. The damage was done by Bowden, who was running another line. Here's Swain. Back to the open side for Lazarus. These big forwards starting to tire now for Auckland, and that could be trouble. Melbourne by 2 as they work it to the left-hand side. Out there is Ross. Last tackle Melbourne. Can they
need to get that
turn
repeat.
The tide again?
Repeat set, that's what they need.
The ball goes up. Who's out there? It bounces off Martin and will go dead. So a relief at last for Auckland. Will come back to the 20-metre line.
Gee, that was a poor play on the last tackle, Justin.
Poor option.
They really need to get that in the in-goal area.
Yeah, poor option there. They need to put it along the ground or high in the air and contest the ball.
Nullival with his 14th hit-up of the match, and here's Pongia as well, who really needs to enforce his authority in this remaining period of the match. Back to the right-hand side for Pongia again to run it at Scott Hill. Jones outside for Vangana, the offload for Odenrine. Back for Tutupu. All sorts of Warriors out there just waiting for the football. This is Vangana who pushes off one, tries to push off another and goes down in the tackle of Rua. Last tackle Auckland, the kick will be long. Jones kicks in behind and Ross will just allow it to dribble into touch 10 metres out from his own line. There was no one back there. I get the feeling though that if it had pulled up about another 10 or 15 metres, it might have been a better kick. There could have been Auckland Warriors there first. Stacey Jones really needs to put his hand up sometime in the next 5 minutes if Auckland are to come away with this game. They led for most of the match, and they conceded 3 tries in 10 minutes in the second half. Their lead was first cut and then overtaken. Melbourne now out by a lead of 20 points to 18. And there's some tired men in that front row. Kamali with the feed. Smith is in from his wing and wrestled straight to the ground. Bowden makes some ground up the middle for Melbourne. Untidy play the ball. Kamali will pick it up and find no Warriors in attendance.
Yeah, they've got to be careful not to go to sleep at marker.
What a hit up by Ben Rorty. Easy meters for Paul Marquette. 35 out from the Auckland line on the last tackle for Melbourne. Kamali will kick in behind. And Odenrine will allow it just to go into touch. Will come back for the scrum feed on the 10-metre line. You can see Gene Namu in the background, just about ready to take his place. He comes out now.
He's got plenty of time, Kamali, too. That's what I like about his kicking game. Not that much pressure from the Auckland Warriors tonight. Look at that Marquette's eye. Oh.
Jones. Tell you what, young Joe Nullivar certainly has put his hand up. He's gone looking for work, and he's found it. Something has to happen for Auckland. Just under 7 minutes to go in the match. The inside ball from Pongia brings in Vangana. But the Melbourne Storm, apart from a period in the first half, their defence has been relentless. This is Anthony Swan. Last tackle for Auckland are still inside their own half. Stilati on for Namu, who'll kick long. Back towards the centre of the field where it'll be Robbie Ross to pick it up. Get it back for Bai.
Great play.
And Bai will play it.
They have a dig, don't they? Both these fullbacks. There's Smith coming in to relieve the pressure. Tackled by Odenryan. Winger on winger. Nothing better than that, Justin.
That's what I love to see.
These two teams are playing for the Tasman Trophy this evening, which will be up for grabs every time they meet in the National Rugby League competition. It's the first time it's been up for grabs, but you'd have to say that Auckland are possibly the holders at the moment by benefit of that fifth-round win at Ericsson Stadium. The Melbourne looking pretty good at the moment. On the last tackle, they lead by 20 points to 18. Stilati is out there, being put under pressure from the kick. He'll come back towards the open side, step inside Mule. He'll get it outside. I'm not sure that's the wisest thing to do inside your 20-metre line, and Rua will effect the tackle on Anthony Swan. No, he won't. Swan will be allowed to pick up another couple of metres. The Melbourne defence is up very, very quickly now. And I'm not sure.
Put that tackle down or that lost possession from Auckland to Marquette. He sprinted up out of the line. Watch this. He really put some pressure on the Auckland player. The numbers in the tackle, that's been the secret. Stacey Jones tries to clean up.
Megan, you're doing a good job keeping your head
inside the last 5 minutes, and that is not an attractive look for Paul Marquette.
Come on.
Go into that second row.
It'll be a good talking point when he retires anyway.
Don't break.
One for the grandchildren. Hill shows the ball inside, tries to get on the outside of Nullivar, but can't do so. We'll play it on the 20-metre line. Bowden looks for the offload, gets it back for Richard Swain. He's tackled just 5 metres out from the Auckland line. Martin is there. Kimorley steps off the left foot, gets the ball back for Marquette. This is Kearns. And Ross has put it down.
I just see who that came off. Pete?
Okay, we're looking
Mate,
okay, what are you
please.
looking for actually?
Looking for the greatest advantage. I couldn't see who it came off to go dead. If Auckland kicked it dead, it's a scrum for the knock-on. I didn't see who kicked it dead, though.
It's a knock-on.
It's got to be a knock-on Melbourne.
Forward. Yeah, that's right. Ball's gone forward.
Auckland has obviously kicked it dead, but it's been a knock-on from Melbourne first.
Whose mouthguard was that spewing out there? You see that?
You can see there's the knock-on.
Yeah, of course.
They're claiming the try, the Melbourne Storm.
Again, mate, he could have scored a try, yeah.
Well, I don't think...
He's knocked it on.
That's gone forward.
Here's Kearns.
And he bounces the football.
That's not the best angle to show us. Robbie Ross was there. This will tell us.
Watch the mouthguard go. You'll see it come out in a minute.
There it goes.
Beautiful stuff.
He kicks it ahead. And here we go.
The ball's gone forward anyway.
That's forward.
Downward pressure. Was it bounced?
That ball's gone forward.
I think it's gone forward off Kearns.
You mean him up?
How could that ball not have gone? He's bounced it off his hands there. It's gone forward from Kearns. It's gone forward from Ross twice. How could it be anything except a 20-metre restart?
I've got to agree with you. 6 knock-ons. 20-metre will be. No try.
That will be the decision. We'll come back to the 20-metre line. The crowd doesn't like it.
What's he got to wait for? understand that.
The referee doesn't have to get onside.
Yeah, let's get it on.
Joe Vangana with the first hit up. Auckland running out of time. Less than 4 minutes to go in the match. Namu out for Vangana.
Well, only get one more set of 6 tackles after this one.
Guttenbeil, who will look for an offload as he always seems to do. They're inside Melbourne territory. Perhaps their last attacking opportunity of the match. The inside ball finds Pongia. He gets it back inside. 35 out from the Melbourne line.
Great cover, Kearns. He cleaned up on the inside then.
Namu. This is Tutupu. Last tackle now for Auckland, 25 metres out. Will they go to the air? Namu is there, and that's precisely what he's done. It's knocked down by Scott Hill, and Melbourne have come up with the ball.
Great play from Hill.
He put enormous pressure on the kick, and he came up with the charge down. Great piece of play from Melbourne.
They'll still get one more set.
Here's Bye.
They'll have to run 100 yards to win.
Hill. To the 20-metre line they come. They've shown great character tonight, the Melbourne Storm. Kearns is put down 15 metres out from the Auckland line on the last. Kamali will go for the field goal and kick it.
It's come off the right-hand upright.
And the thing about that is that they'll get the ball back. So an important point for Melbourne, not just because it means that Auckland now has to score a try, but also because the Melbourne Storm will get the ball back for perhaps the last 90 seconds of the match. Maybe Auckland will be looking for the short kick-off, which is precisely what they do. Odenrine's up there. It comes back on Auckland's side, so it's worked. Pongia for Jones. Over the top it comes. Out there is Anthony Swan. Back for Jones. Pongia. Vangana. They've got to keep the ball alive. Eru is there. Jones. He ran out of support, and he took the tackle 30 metres out from the Melbourne line. This is Malem. Auckland setting a backline out towards this left-hand side. The ball inside. Guttenbeil will take it over the 20-metre line. Centre field, they can go either way. Eru goes to the right. Jones thought about switching the play but took the tackle. 15 out, the Warriors. This is their last chance. Inside the final minute as Malem offloads back. Here's Jones. It comes for Namu. He gets away the offload for Nullarbor.
Great tackle by.
Last tackle for Auckland. This is their final opportunity. Tutupu gets it back. It'll fall for Melbourne, will it? Yes, it does. That's the end of the ball game.
Great scramble. I'll tell you got to give it to Marcus Bye. That was just a great performance from Marcus Bye. He had to go in to make the tackle, but they got the overlap, and he made his mind up to make it. Great play.
Ben Rorty's in some trouble down there. But I tell you what, the Warriors are in even more trouble because they will end up losing this match.
You've got to give a rap to the Auckland Warriors too. What a great match it's been from them. They really have stood up to be counted tonight. Just keep the football alive, and Rorty comes up with it in the end.
Well, the Auckland Warriors are saying that Rorty knocked it on there. Here is Russell Bowden, seconds to go in the match now. And here we have a turnover, so Auckland will get another opportunity. Jones for Namu, the inside ball for Odenrine to be tackled 15 metres out from the Melbourne line. Can they butcher another one? Jones is out there. Out it comes, out wide. Back inside for Stellati. They keep the ball alive. Stacey Jones will go to the air. Everyone will go up for it. Auckland's there. It'll come out. They'll score. Auckland are in. They've scored on the final bell.
He'll go to the video
Tony
replay.
Tutupu has won this match for Auckland. We'll go to the video referee. We won't need to. They've got out of jail, Auckland.
We've played well.
Oh, I tell you what, talk about leaving your run late after the final bell.
It was a lost ball from the Melbourne Storm. They had the game wrapped up, just losing the ball. Does the ball go forward at any stage?
Nope.
No. There's the offload.
Fast hands from Nigel Vangana. And look at that, Tony Tutupu out wide. He puts the ball in the air. You need to put it on the ground, son. Stacey Jones, after the final siren, has put the ball in the air. Everyone's gone up. It's come back off Sid Eru. Guttenbill was there with fast hands. He got it out for Vangana. And Vangana, with great vision, puts it in the arms of a grateful Tony Tutupu.
I think you'll find it's a try.
Well, the crowd celebrated when the final siren went.
They're all onside.
They may have celebrated just too soon.
The ball goes back here, so everyone's onside.
It came off a Melbourne Storm player anyway. It's always gone back. I'm not quite sure what we're worried about.
I think it's a try.
Great pass under pressure by Nigel Vangana. Still no decision from Peter Filmer.
I think he's checking to see if they're all onside.
The ball's gone back. Guttenbill is there, as is Vangana. And Tutupu is out there already celebrating. We may have controversy here. Auckland have gone across the line after the final siren.
I think they're going to go back to see if everyone was onside from the kick. That's the only doubting point for me. I think it's a try. Let's just have a look. That's what they're doing right now. There's Stacey Jones. Is that man onside there? Yes, he is. Is that man on the wing, right, coming in now, into play?
Well, he didn't go up and contest the football. Everyone else is onside.
I think it's a try.
It's got to be a try. Well, I'll tell you what, whichever way it goes, we have controversy, because one team is going to go away from Olympic Park tonight feeling it's been robbed. It's a try. So that team will be Melbourne. And the Auckland Warriors, against the most extraordinary odds, have scored a victory after the final siren. They've yet to kick the goal. They won't need to. Gene Namu will go up. You can see the smile on the face of young Joe Nullivau.
Didn't he play well?
He's only played a couple of games and he's come up with a couple of wins. You've got to be happy. Tony Tutupu there in number 17 is the man who scored for Auckland after the bell. And Gene Namu, it's a bit of an anticlimax, this, isn't it? He's going to kick a goal which won't matter in anything other than his statistics. And in the in-goal area, the heads are bowed and the hands are on their knees. This may cost the Melbourne Storm the competition lead by the end of the weekend. The goal has been kicked. Namu puts the icing on a pretty good Auckland cake. And the Auckland Warriors have beaten the Melbourne Storm by 24 points to 21. We'll take a short break. Back on the other side to wrap it all up.